Oh, you gotta look through it. There you go. MWCS Lifetime Achievement Award, Marilynn Derwenskus, June 4th, 2022. Put that on her desk. There's a box. That's right. It's all yours.
Damascus.
Oh.
Let's see if that works.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry. So, thank you so much, Mr. Whitehouse, Society, for the support. And when I thought about it, I was like, humble. Like, this was an honor that wasn't really my doing. This is all the help that I received from other people. I want to share a lot of things. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to start with where I was back in 1947. I wrote in my baby book, I think I will be a teacher when I grow up. And the next year, I crossed it off and said, I think I'm going to be an artist. So for all my life, I sort of fluctuated between these two professions. Fortunately, there were two I could do at the same time, and I did. So now let me just thank a lot of individuals who gave me tips, encouragement, and nurtured the development of my career. So I'm going to start with, first of all, the professors that were mentioned when Rocco was introducing the award. So, but I'm going to say their names, there'll be a little difference, all right? So the first ones are from Wayne State, where they are Mary Jane Bickler, and Robert Wilbur, a painter, who worked not with watercolor but with oil, but I learned a lot about composition, which also influenced my watercolor. And then I also want to thank or acknowledge Richard Kinney. I studied drawing with him for many, many years. So those three professors were pretty important during my years at Wayne State. I earned 2 degrees there, and I'm going to shift to although my notes are in chronological order, I'm going to shift out of order and jump to about 1985 to 1988 is when I did my MFA at the University of Chicago. And there I had 3 professors I would like to acknowledge. Vera Clement was a painting professor, and she was a big influence. She also worked with encaustic, and later in my career I got very interested in working with wax. So that was that influence. And then there was 2 other people, Bob Peters. I have it all written down, but I'm trying to, and you know what I want to say. Anyway, Bob Peters, I want to acknowledge him because his work was about conceptual ideas, and not necessarily about how to make it. I mean, his art came from his garage, and he would find things and assemble them into works of art and write books. So he was not necessarily just painting. Okay? So Bob Peters, and the last one is Scott Rankin, who was a photographer. And let me tell you this little story. So one day he walked into my studio. When we were a student at the University of Chicago, we were given a studio. I wasn't planning to say all this. Sorry, Mr. Time. I'll skip some of it. I promised to just do this for 10 minutes. All right. Anyway, Scott Rankin came in my studio one day, and he looked around, and he said, I don't get it. And I said, you don't get it? Doesn't mean it's no good. And he said, follow me. And he took me to the studio and showed me he was working on a video, video, I said, "But Scott, I don't get it." He said, "That's what keeps us working as artists. You have to keep trying to complete your painting so that you can maybe communicate your ideas or thoughts." So at first I was just this, like I said, I worked on my abstraction. No one could understand what I was doing, so I never put in thoughts or ideas. But now I am better at trying to do that. Just remember, there's 4 parts to a work of art: subject, content, form, and technique. So those are the 4 things you get to pick from. Every painting you have had all parts, 4 parts emphasized. Maybe sometimes only 1 or 2, but we need to have some reason for doing it. Okay? All right, let's skip down here. Now, the other people I want to acknowledge are Robert Wilbur the second time, because he was the one that called me one day and said, "Hey, you want to teach?" I said, "Teach? Okay." I think that might have been about 1962. So I began to teach at the adult education program in East Detroit. It was scary. I never taught before, but I sort of figured it out. That was the beginning. I ended up teaching there for 12 years, and then after that, I continued to teach in the Detroit area for 12 years, for 25 more years. All right? So I taught at lots of different art centers. I taught at community colleges. I substituted for Mary Jane Giggler when she went up to Italy in the summer. I taught summer classes there. So I got started teaching, and I really loved it. It's wonderful, wonderful experience. About 1976, when I was teaching at the art center, Birmingham Bloomfield Art Center, Ken Gross, who was then the director, said, "Hey Marilynn, did you ever think about applying for Michigan Council for the Arts grant?" I said, "No." I said, "Why do you think I should do that?" He said, "I think you have a lot to offer. You deserve to get one." So I wrote it. I never wrote a grant before in my life. I did consult sometimes the president of the Michigan Watercolor Society at that time. And so that grant that I wrote, she said, "Well, what you're doing is looking really great. Just keep it, maybe enlarge the size, the scale of it." So I went to 40 by 60. My grant money, I did get the grant. The money was used to buy a large paper. Okay? Now I'm reviewing my notes to figure out what comes next. Okay, as a result of that successful grant, I have written 21 grants that were approved. And this is my list. I'm going to have to share that. I'll just read it. The Pollock Krasner Foundation grant, the Partners of the Americas, and this was in Brazil. So I went to Brazil for a month. I stayed in people's homes. It's such a great way to learn about our culture. I was invited to come there by an artist who visited Ball State. I had 2 exhibits in Brazil and taught a couple classes. So that was a great experience. 3 Indiana Arts Commission grants, the Arts Foundation of Michigan, 14 Ball State University faculty grants, and last one on my list is the Lilly, gotta get the names correct, Lilly Endowment Faculty Open Fellowship. And it was $40,000 and a year off to teach. So it was a really big award, and that was when I got interested. This was after my work investigating, after my studies at the University of Chicago. So that grant was to search out, and it was a watercolor award, to search out where do ideas come from. To creative artists in 7 places in the U.S. So all my expensive travel and the artists, let's see if I can remember, that I don't have anymore, were Warren Taylor, Harold Barnes. I should have written that. Well, trust me, there were 7 people. Okay. Special acknowledgement also to the Dean of the College of Fine Arts at Ball State. She one day called me and said, Marilynn, you need to apply for that yearly fellowship award, which I did receive. And did receive. Beginning in 1984, I often sought artist residencies to get away in the summer and focus on creativity. I don't know how I found out about this, but I did. And so I had 15 times I went to various places for residency. I will just mention my favorite place was the Bravado Studio. And I know that I'm forgetting so much name right now, just a minute. The problem about getting old, my brain works, and in an hour I'll tell you everything I forgot to say. Now, so I did these residencies, and like I said, they were fabulous. They were like for 2 weeks or a month. And mostly my favorite ones in Vermont. And then the reason I liked it there are no teachers at residence. They do have artists come in to critique your work once a month, every 2 weeks. And so you do get some information, but you're working independently. You're an accomplished artist in a way already before you go. It's not about learning a new technique. But they also have people that have come from Europe, other countries. They have a lot of times with the artists that might be looking very different than you are. So that was a great experience for me. And then I'm sorry that I'm having difficulty doing this. I have the biggest print on this page, as you can imagine. But I now have many health issues, including my vision is not so good. So my watercolors are very different. They had to change in order, just 3 more minutes. I had to change because I love paint. I can't imagine living without paint. So you gotta find a new way to do old things, is what I'm still doing today because of the visual issue. But, so I do, see, I'm gonna skim this. Aha. So I guess I have a paragraph I'm going to skip. But the other thing I want to mention is when I taught at Ball State, when I wrote grants, and I wrote a lot of them, 14 from Ball State, I requested funding for stipends for students to act as my apprentices or honors college fellows. And I think I had 21 students that did that over the years. Now one of them is here. Carol, are you still there? Carol Bird was my first apprentice. And I always thought that these apprenticeships was great for me because the students of Carol, that was my first grant at Ball State. I did this project about Italy and, no, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. I did the project about, they were, half of them were on canvas and half were on paper. And she did actually paint on it. She was very good, trustworthy artist. I did the painting with all my ideas. But she went back when I was finished and cleaned it up. So I used border designs. It was a little sloppy. came in by me, she straightened them all up, so they were perfect. Anyway, so that's where we're, I think that's really the end of my notes here. A few more comments from the last page. This one, achieving creative work for me, still ongoing. Unique images for an upcoming exhibition in 2023 and a book about my life and art. Watch for it. I expect to do this. The last thing I want to say is that I did print this out, and I brought a few copies. There are 25 if anyone wants one. I also brought a tablet. If you write, we run out of copies. If you want to write down your email address, I will send you a copy. So thank you.